Yeah.
We're married.
We're married? Holy
I am so excited about this video. And honestly, the only way that I've been able to stay sane while managing an 8-figure business, my personal relationships, and myself is tattooed on my arm. Yeah, so I have this tattoo. A lot of people ask me what it is, and it's the 5 F's that my grandpa taught me, my papa, when I was a really little kid, and they were instilled into my whole family. And my grandpa was one of my biggest role models in the world. They stand for faith, family, friends, finance, and fitness. And you're gonna see they're woven into every single day, and I do think they're a key part of living a very balanced life. I didn't want to pick just any week. I wanted to pick the busiest week of my life. So I'm gonna show you the behind the scenes of my wedding week. Let's get into it. 6:30 a.m. Monday, my week begins. And every single day during the week starts the exact same way. I get up, I take my dog outside, and then I come back and I cover off my faith and my fitness practices. So for me, that is 20 minutes of TM meditation, and then I do mantras and then a little journaling or self-reflection. At 7:30 a.m., I hit the bike, or I just do some sort of workout, whether that's 10 minutes or 45 minutes. I know for me, I have to move my body to wake up my brain. First thing I do when it hits 8 a.m. is I look at my clients, and is there anything that they need? Is there any customized feedback that they're looking for? That is the very first priority in everything I do every single day. So clients first. The second thing is I then check in with our finances. That's the third F. And I make sure that everything is on track by looking at our metrics that matter in the business. So that's looking at our revenue and our profit numbers. And it's also looking at the key metrics when it comes to our marketing strategies, etc. At 9:05 every Monday morning, we have our leadership meeting with our 5 members of our team who are on our leadership team. So content, finances, business manager, sales and enrollment, and then myself. So that's a quick 30-minute check-in meeting. This was the greatest game changer that I have ever had in my business, and the best advice probably that I've ever gotten about efficiency in your schedule is I have internal days and external days. Mondays and Thursdays are my internal days. Tuesdays and Wednesdays are my external days. What does that mean? So internal days for me are anything behind the scenes in the business, and it's basically like prep days. So I can do research, I can prep for content or for live trainings or for whatever projects I have coming up behind the scenes. And then Tuesdays and Wednesdays are my forward-facing days. So this is when I do content creation, I do podcast interviews, I do anything that is external and outside of the business or that needs my face on camera. So Mondays really are my prep days. I block my calendar, I block my time throughout the week, and anything that needs to be tackled, I make sure that I mark it off in my calendar so that I actually create the space and time to be able to do it. And the other thing that I do, and I talked about this in my video on how to be insanely productive doing less, is using the 3 A's strategy. So that means I look at what I can axe, meaning get rid of off of my to-do list, which generally there's a lot of things that I can axe and just aren't that important to be doing immediately. And then I ask for help. So I identify everything that needs to be done in that week, and I identify where I can be asking for help and not taking it on myself. And then I look at anything that can be automated. Is there an efficient way to tackle one of these things without an actual person doing it? Can we automate something somehow? And that helps me in delegating and creating a ton of space for myself to do only the things that are in my genius zone. Okay, it is Tuesday right now, Tuesday morning. I woke up actually early this morning at 6 a.m. because obviously the days leading up to the wedding, and the wedding's on Friday, are a little more full than normal. And so my biggest priorities right now are to stay present, normalize my routine, so keep doing the things that I normally would do, not stress over the small stuff, and keep myself healthy by eating and drinking the way that I normally would. The rest of Tuesday looked pretty much exactly the same as it always would. So I did all my external activities that needed to be done for that week, whether that was content creation and meetings with people outside of our company. And then I blocked out the time to work on the business stuff, as well as blocking out the time to work on the personal stuff. I moved into my final dress fitting, which was really exciting. I asked my mom for help. She came with me, picked up the dress, took it home to my parents' house so that that it wouldn't be in our apartment. And then we also got legally married that night because our friend married us at our wedding and he wasn't officially an officiant. So we had to legally do a ceremony in our kitchen.
Be my lawful wedded husband.
To be my lawful wedded husband. Wednesday morning rolled around and you'll notice that I slept in until 8 a.m. And this is a pretty common occurrence for me. I don't manage my time really anymore. I manage my energy. And I notice that on Mondays and Tuesdays, they're very intense days generally for me. So Wednesdays, I try to give myself a breather and listen to my body, and I sleep in a little bit later on those days. So woke up at 8, still got a mini version of my morning routine done. And then I dove into one-on-ones with my team from 9 a.m. all the way up until noon. From noon onwards, I had a client call with our Authority Accelerator clients, which we do every single Wednesday. And that pretty much consumed my entire Wednesday with all sort of external happenings and things that needed to be done. We are 2 days out from the wedding. We have an amazing company that we use for cleaning our apartment because we have people coming here on Friday during the day. The male members of my family are all coming here to get ready with Nav. So I wanted to make sure it was clean and I'm like, I don't have time for that. So delegated that. And then my amazing planner, who's a wonderful human, she just sent me over the timeline for the whole day on Friday. So again, I don't have to waste my brain space or have decision fatigue, and I can just rely on her to do that work for me, and I know where I need to be and when I need to be there. So because today was so full, it was really important for me to compartmentalize. When it was wedding stuff, I was focused on wedding stuff. When it was work stuff, I was focused on work stuff. No phone, no distractions, no nothing. And that honestly goes for everything in my life. And because again, it was such a full day, I'm treating myself tonight. Thursday, 6 a.m., woke up. As usual, you're probably getting the gist of this. Every morning starts the same. So I do my usual morning routine and then dove into our leadership meeting at 10 a.m. I did a workout. I was starting to feel, you know, the nerves and the excitement. And I often will do this. I will move around my workouts if necessary. And that's the cool thing about block timing on your calendar, and I made a whole other video about this, and I'll link to it below. But when you block out all the things that you need to tackle in a day and a week, then you can just move them around and be flexible with them if necessary, but at least you know what needs to be done. So I moved my workout that day to 10 a.m., got the nerves out, got a good sweat in, and then from there at 12 p.m. I packed all my bags and headed over to the hotel. So our little living room area all by myself, and my mom's gonna come stay with me tonight. When 4 p.m. rolled around, it was time to do a quick rehearsal with our friends and our family prior to the wedding the next day. So that's really when it started to sink in. And honestly, on a weekly basis, my Thursdays and Fridays are really when I go out of sort of work mode and I get into my personal relationships and really make those a priority. So I did that. I made sure everything was taken care of as far as the business so I could truly check out. I completely took everything off of my phone, Slack, social media, email, all the things, so I could truly be present for the biggest day of my life. And the next morning, I woke up at 7 a.m. I was so excited, but also overwhelmingly calm. It's my wedding day. I slept really well. I feel ready for the day. It is raining. It's pissing rain. And all I can think of is Alanis Morissette. It's like rain on your wedding day. This is what came up in my mantra book when I opened it. I always open to a random page, and I trust that everything is gonna work out perfectly. I really do, and I'm beyond excited, and now it's time to go and deal with this mop of mine. 10:30. As I said, tackled my mop and did my hair, and that brought me right up to 1 p.m. where I did my makeup. As of 3 p.m., it was time to actually get dressed and put on my dress with my mom there with me. It's dress time. Thanks, Mom.
You're welcome, baby girl. Don't start.
Don't you start.
How do you feel, Sunny?
I feel ready to get married. That brings us to 4:15 on Friday, October 9th, which is when we got married. And I was so present and so relaxed because I treated that week like I do every single week, which is I truly believe if you can prepare and you can set aside time to really focus on what needs to be done instead of being reactive to your calendar and what other people need from you, it makes a world of difference. And for me, the most important thing on my wedding day and that week was to remember that this is truly never going to happen again. Fingers crossed, knock on wood. And I wanna be here for it. I wanna be present in the moment for it, and I can honestly say that I was. We're married!
We're married? Holy
my husband, gotta love him. That's a week in my life. Honestly, did not look that different than a normal week outside of wearing a white dress, but that's how I stay balanced. It wouldn't be the case if I didn't stay true to the 5 F's. Faith, family, friends, finance, and fitness. Those are my pillars. They keep me grounded. They keep me sane no matter what is going on. And I hope that you can take that from this.
Are you with me? Watch how I made 40K on my wedding day next, and then learn how to be insanely productive doing less. I'll see you in the next one.